These two Warcraft characters are fighting the exact same enemy, but the one on the right has been modded to take double damage from all sources, meaning every melee hit, every spell, and every mistake is far more deadly. And I want to see if I can survive all the way to level 60 through WoW's brutal leveling, with only 3 lives. And if I lose all of them, my character is locked forever. And to choose my class, we're spinning a wheel. I'm using the Wrath version of the game because the classes are more balanced, and in my opinion, the 3 S tier options are Hunter, Mage, and Warlock because of their pets or amazing kiting abilities. Let's see what I get. Ooh, I think it's Paladin. Might be a bad pick. Okay, so the Paladin is decent. It still might be impossible for me to hit 60, but I do have a plan. First though, the races I can choose between are the Blood Elf, Human, Dwarf, and Draenei. And the best choice of ratios is easily the Blood Elf, because of Arcane Torrent's AoE silence and magic resistance gives 2% increased chance for spells to miss. Those abilities could save me later on, and my character's name will be 2X-Man, which means my torture begins in Eversong Forest, where I enable the 2x mod that sends an update every few minutes showing it's working. It says I'm taking 2x the damage, so that's how I know it works. Perfect. Let's get started. So we have to fight some mana worms. At low levels, this 2x modifier isn't insane. It's gonna ramp up heavily. So if you see my health bar, I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm taking like 2 damage essentially, instead of the normal 1. Sometimes even 4 if it crits. Okay, this shield's gonna be very important, which may give you an idea of what I plan on doing. What sucks is WoW's floating combat text doesn't actually show the double damage, but you can see it clearly in my health bar. You also might have noticed other players running around. Those are actually AI controlled characters on my personal server, designed to behave almost like real players. But for this challenge, I can't get any help from them, and there are a few other rules I'll reveal later. The first step to surviving is reaching level 10 and unlocking my talents. Let's get devotion. That's gonna be very strong. Additional armor. The more armor I have, the more I can reduce everything coming at me. So that's gonna be very, very important. I'm literally fighting a tree right now. Did this tree just heal? Oh my goodness. Look how dangerous this is. I'm down, I'm almost lower than half health fighting a random like low level cat. The intro quest had me fighting random enemies that were already proving to be more difficult than I expected, because the Paladin is weaker early on with no real attacking abilities and only Seal of Righteousness, which slightly adds holy damage to my attacks. But once I hit level 5, I unlocked 2 crucial abilities. Blessing of Might, which increases my attack power and overall damage, and Judgment, which does decent damage on a cooldown, but more importantly gives me access to some sustain. It applies a debuff to enemies that gives their attacks a small chance to heal me, which is huge in a challenge like this. And after handing in this quest called Aggression for slaughtering trees, I got a badly needed one-handed sword, plus another quest that would reward me an even better shield for killing magical creatures and a mana addicted blood elf. Should be easy. 55 block compared to this. Yeah, I absolutely need that. Not 55 block, just more armor. More armor the better for these physical guys. Okay, but these are the magic. These guys are magical. Do they have mana? Yes, they do. So this is gonna be a little deadly. Wow, they updated the model to look like this. I'm surprised. Okay, they're not even casting anything. This is one of the coolest like elementals I've ever seen. I wish like classes actually could get that. So there's this dude. Why does he look like this, huh? Interesting. That's what they updated the model to. Okay, let's fight him. This is literally what a blood elf becomes. So he doesn't even do magical, like he just attacks. It's trash. There you go. Okay, let's hand that in. Oh my gosh, I actually died. I didn't think I was gonna die. I thought the water was deeper. I literally just lost one of my lives. That was so accidental. I honestly didn't think I was gonna die from that. No, that's bad. It literally counted it. Like hardcore death recorded. It doesn't say the lives remaining, but if I die 2 more times, this character is done. It's gone. At this point, I was already so shocked that I had lost a life at level 7 that I didn't even realize I was about to have to leave Eversong Forest at level 11. Because the second rule of this challenge is that once I outlevel a zone's intended range, I have to move on to a new one. The rule is there to make up for the fact that I slightly increased XP gain on the server, so these videos don't take weeks to finish. I didn't expect to lose a life until maybe when I was in the 20s. Holy, and I haven't even touched the Ghostlands yet. The Ghostlands is where stuff are gonna get crazy. You guys have probably noticed already, but I'm using some retail textures, like updated models inside the old vanilla WoW world. I don't remember if Blizzard ever really did this, but it makes things feel weirdly fresh in a cool way. So far, I'm a big fan of it. What can you train? Parry, huh? I actually need that. I think Purify actually will be like, I feel like that will be like really useful. Let's go with this. So now I got stun. That's going to be really helpful. And then I have divine protection. This reduces damage I take by 50%. So I literally go back to just regular damage. But I do need to get professions. Professions are going to be really important for this challenge. So I headed to Silvermoon to pick up blacksmithing and mining, 2 skills that should help me unlock some of the best gear I'll need to survive. And after that, I headed into one of the most dangerous parts of Eversong Forest, the quest, the Dead Scar, which is filled with undead creatures. Oh, 2 of them pulled. This might be, let me stun this one. Oh, 3. Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. I think I almost lost my second life already. Holy goodness. I'm not playing right. Like I'm playing too reckless. Like I'm generally playing way too reckless. That is so deadly. I might have died without the shield. I don't even know if the shield blocked. But I need a range spell just so I can range pull. Last one right here. Then I'm gone. I'm out of here. And because I'm auto attacking like an idiot, bro. I literally am auto attacking. Or I might go on like an ore run before I even like go to these other areas. I'm using everything. These rough sharpening stones will actually, it will just increase my damage overall, which 2 is actually pretty significant for me. 1 hour? That's amazing. So this is gonna go to 8 damage. Okay, there's some scary enemies here for sure. I gotta head back to, I gotta go to a pally trainer before I go Ghostlands. Oh, I almost died there. I almost died there. I literally almost died there. I think if I don't holy light there, I die. That is brutal. I literally can't even do quests at that level. I gotta make sure I have all my buffs on. 2x damage is way worse than I thought. So I made the smart decision to back off and do lower level quests, like taking out these corrupted blood elves. Come here. Oh my gosh. That magic damage is crazy. Oh, I just gotta silence you. You're doing way too much damage. I literally can't fight 2 of these guys. I fight everyone 1 at a time. I really like this challenge. It's so much more exciting. I'm so excited seeing ore because I know it's gonna be so needed. Okay, I'll take this. This sword's actually a big upgrade. Okay, I'm 10. So my plan is, you may have already seen this because I'm wearing sword and shield, but I'm gonna be running protection. I think Retribution can't do this. I think Retribution gets destroyed in this challenge. Like right here, the first time I'm taking is Divine Strength. If I get all of this, my strength is going to go up 15%. I feel like Protection Paladin gives me the best chance at reaching level 60. There are a lot of powerful talents in the tree that I'll reveal over time. But first, the biggest upgrade I want to work towards is maxing out Divine Strength for that 15% strength increase, which boosts both the damage I block and also my damage output. And at level 10, even though I was still technically within Eversong Forest level range, I decided to start preparing for my exit. For From here, I could head to one of 3 zones next: Silverpine Forest, the Barns, and of course Ghostlands, which I chose since it was the closest. Yeah, I'm gonna do a loop around this mountain, get as much copper ore as possible, then I'm gonna head back to Silvermoon and craft the gear before I go to Ghostlands. After collecting a lot of ore, I started crafting pieces from the ruined copper set, which turned out to be some pretty big upgrades. Okay, so let's make one of these. Big upgrade here. That's a big upgrade. 2 strength on that too. Let's get these. These are big upgrade. Okay. There you go. After those gear upgrades, I also went to train the new abilities I unlocked at level 10. First was Lay on Hands, which restores my entire health bar and can be insanely clutch, but it comes with a brutal 20-minute cooldown. Then there's Hand of Protection, which makes me immune to physical attacks for 6 seconds, but during that time I cannot attack. I suddenly had some really powerful defensive cooldowns. The catch is that they're limited because of Forbearance, which puts a debuff on me that stops me from chaining them one after another. I then started making my way to Ghostlands, fighting enemies and mining copper ore along the way, when I ran into a chest that gave me a really powerful 2-handed sword, and honestly it was way too good to pass up, so I decided to sacrifice some of my defense and use it. Once I entered Ghostlands, I tried farming enemies to hit level 11 since I was already close, and I was immediately surprised by how much stronger they were. God, look how much that silence does. That's a crazy move. If I ever got 2 bats on me, it might be wraps. This sword does a lot though. Big boost to strength right there. By the way, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe. I eventually made it to Tranquillin, the main town of Ghostlands, and this is where the challenge really started ramping up. There were quests everywhere, way more than I expected for how low level I still was. Some of them were even 21 wanted quests, which would be instant death. So I played it smart and started with the lowest level quests first, and somehow even those started to turn into problems. Oh my gosh, there's literally an AI player here. Level 13 is crazy. There's stuff in the water. What? Did I just get... Oh my gosh. Look how much damage that did. Bro, oh my gosh. That debuff was insane. That literally, I don't even, I have to replay what just happened there. I'm gonna grind to 12. I think that increased the physical damage I took, which is stacking on top of the 2x is not it. That may have been another multiplier. So I want to cross over here, but there's literally ghosts floating, there's ghosts in this water. I didn't even know that. Look how, they look so hidden. 12. Let's put one more here. I now have 9% strength. There was even an underwater collection quest in the lake, but as you guys can see, everything in this zone can destroy me, so I had to be incredibly careful because one mistake could end everything. Okay, they're not too bad. Now being a level higher, they're actually not horrible. Sometimes these quests, you never know, you may be collecting something and an enemy pops up. Cool, cool, cool. Done. Let's go do that troll stuff too. Once you swim to the bottom. Slaying? Who am I slaying? I don't know if I want to slay this thing. Oh, this is a risk. What level is this quest? 13. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Right now. 13? And it's a boss? Nah. That's a setup. That's literally a setup. Yo, that does so much damage. The lightning shield does so much damage. That lightning shield is insane. Everything shreds my health bar. Everything. These guys are easier. Cool. After completing a few more dangerous quests, I finally reached level 13 and even got a nice shield upgrade that would be really useful later on. I gotta remember, I still got Lay on Hands, I still got pots, I still got a lot of stuff. Ooh, chestplate. That's a big upgrade. Damn. Look at this guy, 13. Does he survive this? I'm curious. He has 2 of them on him. He's level 15. Why do you lay on hands? Do you not have lay on hands? He's low. No, he doesn't survive that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. You can't have 2 on you. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at this guy. No, I'm not joining your group. 14. Another paladin. I'm seeing a lot of paladins. Yo, this guy got gear, low-key. No, he doesn't. Okay, his gear's trash. Yeah, he's even... I don't even know how he's 14. These are like blood elves, but it's like the old model blood elves. It's like the vanilla model. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, these are like weird model blood elves. They're literally like white night elves. It's so weird. They're like high elves, essentially. Like, this dude looks like a night elf, but he's just like pale skinned. Because I'm pretty sure blood elves are like evolved from night elves. What is this? Increase my maximum health? That's really strong. Wow. At this point, I was starting to get a little too comfortable in Ghostlands. I was a lot stronger now. I had some upgrades and I cruised my way to level 15, where I unlocked the second row of my protection talents and started working on maxing out anticipation for a 5% increased dodge chance. That may not sound like a lot, but stacked with my current dodge chance, it would put me over 10%, which can absolutely be life-saving in a challenge like this. Then I got a quest to go kill undead in the Dead Scar, which, if you remember, did not go very well for me earlier, but this time I figured it would be fine. I was a lot stronger now. Okay, let's go to the Death Scar. Let's fight some of these guys. Wow, these guys are really strong. Oh my gosh. I literally died. Holy goodness. There's no way. What did I just take damage from? This, I got critted. So it actually did 68 damage. I literally didn't expect to lose a life till I was 30. I gotta play this completely differently. Completely differently. I would have survived if I lay on hands. That's completely my fault. I literally panicked. I should have lay on hands. I'm very disappointed. I'm now on 1 life. I can't lose this life. If I'm a warrior, literally I don't think this is possible. I was really beating myself up over how avoidable that death was, and at that point, I completely changed my strategy. I went all the way back to Eversong Forest to grind more ore for gear upgrades because I was not taking any more chances. I even started practicing clicking my cooldowns just to build the muscle memory, because one more mistake and the video is over. So upgrading my current abilities at the Paladin Trainer and crafting the full Ruined Copper set through blacksmithing was going to give me the best possible chance at survival. I should also mention, the third and final rule of this challenge is that I can only use the auction house to buy crafting materials for gear. Now locked and loaded, I immediately headed back into Ghostlands and got back to grinding. This time, playing way more cautiously and pulling mobs one at a time whenever I could. Eventually, I reached level 18, where I'm still auto-attacking for like 95% of my damage, which makes weapon upgrades insanely important. Luckily, I was about to get a massive one-handed upgrade with an on-use effect that says it only works on a specific enemy for 500 arcane damage, but there was a small, very unlikely chance that it might work on everything, which of course meant I needed it. However, first I had to get revenge on the zombie that killed me, just to clear my mind. The quest to get the sword is actually really difficult, so before taking it on, I decided I needed to hit level 20 first and unlock a special ability, and the way I planned to do that was by slaughtering trolls for a quest that also forced me into something you never want to enter as a hardcore player: a cave. I literally could just go through this whole thing. Like, these guys are not difficult. I gotta run, I gotta run, I gotta run. Did I survive? Oh my god, that was so close. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Yeah, do not enter caves. It's not worth it, but at least it helped me hit 20.
Time is of the essence.
Nice, I'm 20. Now I had the third row of talents unlocked, and the next one I wanted was improved Righteous Fury. Righteous Fury was kind of a useless spell for me earlier since it mainly increases threat generation, but this talent turns it into something huge by reducing the damage I take up to 6%. I also went back to Silvermoon to train my new paladin abilities, learning 4 new spells. Summon Warhorse, which finally gave me my mount and made questing way faster. Exorcism, my first real ranged spell that hits insanely hard and always crits on undead and demons. Consecration, an amazing AoE holy spell, and Blessing of Kings, which increases all my stats by 10%. That replaced my old Blessing of Might buff. Might was still better for raw damage, but Kings improved basically everything else. Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh, mount feels amazing. Holy. Now I gotta do this quest, which is extremely dangerous. Let's put that down. Okay, I'm a lot stronger now. Now level 21, I was getting ready to leave for the next zone, but first I finished my Paladin class quest, which unlocked 2 abilities I'll probably never use, Resurrection and Sense Undead. That pushed me to level 22 and now equipped with my new sword and shield, and sadly yes, the sword's on use effect does not work. Now that I'm level 22, one of the rules that I set is once I outlevel a zone's range, I have to move on to a new one. My main options are the Barrens, Stone Talon Mountain, Ashenville, and Hillsbrad Foothills. I chose Hillsbrad because it was the closest to the Blood Elf area, so I took the Orb of Translocation from Silvermoon to Undercity and rode across Silverpine Forest, mining any ore I saw along the way since that would be very important later on. Eventually, I made it to Hillsbrad Foothills, which was exciting but also terrifying because this zone has some really dangerous human areas I'd eventually have to enter. My first quest in the zone came from Deathstalker Lesh, who sent me to the Horde's main town, Terran Mill. The problem was that I had to cross basically the entire zone to get there. Where are these guys? 26? These guys are high. I didn't realize they were that high. I eventually made it to Terran Mill and picked up every quest I could, even though some of them were pretty much impossible for me to do right now. But now my map was completely packed with options, so I decided to start with the boring but efficient kill and collect quests for spiders and bears. Except they weren't boring at all, because I almost died fighting basically every single enemy. That was so close. Even as a protection paladin, which I think is the only spec that can realistically survive this challenge. Bears that deal physical damage, the type I'm supposed to be the strongest against, were still shredding my health bar. So I played it extremely carefully and grinded bears, spiders, and later cats until I reached a comfortable level 24 to take on one of the most dangerous areas in the zone. Wow, that's a big upgrade. That's actually really strong. And while doing that, I also kept upgrading one of my most important talents, Toughness, which increases the armor value I get from items, making me tankier, which can absolutely come in clutch. For Durnhold Keep, a broken down castle filled with deadly humans from the Syndicate criminal organization. My quests required me to kill a bunch of them and rescue 2 captured orcs. The problem is, these enemies tend to stay packed together, which makes it really easy for multiple mobs to get on me at once. So I had to take my time and use a strategy called line of sighting, which is basically pulling an enemy and then hiding behind an object to force them to run to me. It's really useful, especially against ranged mobs. Could I have fallen through here? I just realized I probably could have. I think I could have fallen through here. That would have been insane. Look how much damage that does. That does so much damage. Like, do I even survive if I don't stun that? Like, that's shredding through my everything. That human I just killed is one of the enemies I need to free my orc allies, since they dropped the keys I'm after. Luckily, they weren't too difficult, which let me rescue the easier prisoner first. The problem was the second one. He's located in a much more dangerous, deeper section of the castle, which for some reason the mobs are stacked right on top of each other. Thankfully, I played this game way too much and know a pretty cool strategy. The orc prisoner is inside this house, filled with enemies, and the best way for me to reach him is to take this little shortcut around the edge and drop down beside it. That lets me skip a huge amount of enemies that honestly probably would have ended the challenge. But once I get there, I still have to pull the mobs inside the house, and there's a lot of them. I have no idea how many will come after me, but it was a risk I have to take.
I'm out of range.
That's fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay. Yup, out of here. I'm out of here. That was so nerve-wracking, because you can't mess that up, especially when I'm down here. Like, I literally can't escape. Thankfully, Protection Paladin can still handle a few mobs even with 2x damage, which let me finish the quest to get a really nice reward and hit another level. Whoa, this is a big upgrade. Thank you. Now I had the 4th row of talents unlocked, and my best option was improved Devotion Aura, which increases the armor I get from the ability, but also boosts all healing I receive up to 6%, which is amazing. Now level 25, instead of taking on the even more dangerous human area of Hillsbrad Fields, with much higher level enemies that are way too risky for a hardcore run, I decided to cross the continent for the first time and head to Ashenvale. It has a slightly lower level range and enough quests for me to safely push towards the big level 30 breakpoint. But first, I had to make use of all the copper and tin ore I mined while questing and combine them into bronze, so I can craft a new rough bronze set, which was about to take my gear to another level. This chest piece, and I made these leggings. These should give me massive boosts in damage and just like survivability, hopefully. I'm matching now. I got a good amount of gear now. This is solid. Then I took a zeppelin to Orgrimmar, rode across the Barrens, and made my way to Ashenvale, the home of the Night Elves, who I was happy to farm for XP. I remember this quest. This is like going to like the Night Elf like hut right here and like facing them. This is actually a pretty cracked quest. I think as soon as I accept it, it starts it. Ooh, that's a good weapon. I don't think I'm gonna go get that right now. Again, I want to be as careful as humanly possible. Let's get this though. Ashenvale Outrunners. Slay some Night Elves. Fire. I think these Night Elves I have to face here, I think they're invisible, yeah. So that's actually extremely annoying. Okay, I just got poisoned. Okay, let's lock in. Oh my gosh. Crazy. I'm pretty tanky now though. I got triple stun. Whoa. What is that? Why is that there? It's not even rare. Like, what is that? After slaughtering all those wonderful Night Elves, I turned in the quest, hit level 26, and made my way to a nearby lake to kill some elementals. Okay, Frostbow, how much is this gonna do? 100 damage? I can't drink in water, so I have to go to somewhere where I can sit. There's like all these little things I don't think about, like that I'm now thinking about. Okay. Oh shit, I didn't realize this thing was gonna... Where did this come from? Like, that was scary. That thing just randomly spawned. That was super scary. I was like, that actually jump scared me. Surprisingly though, Ashenvale was pretty underwhelming overall, outside of the occasional massive elite that would have completely ruined the challenge. Look at that. What is that, bro? Why is it just a random giant tree here? That's insane. Or the random mob that looks easy but has a buff that combined with the 2x modifier creates a lethal situation. Enrage, crazy. 100% more damage. Oh my gosh. That is insane. He essentially was doing 3x on me. Like, oh my gosh. I think these guys spawn something. Bloodlust, attack speed increased by 30. These guys got crazy abilities. Other than that, I cruised through Ashenvale, started stacking some levels, and picked up some really nice upgrades along the way. Ooh, I get a big shield upgrade here. Whoa. Thank you. I've been waiting for it. That's going to increase my armor by so much. Big upgrade with that shield. I love that. So right now, my physical damage reduced by 38. 42. Wow, 4%. That's big. I then slayed some demons using exorcism, which always crits against them, and somehow even got a few better upgrades, while also reaching level 29. And that was when I decided to head to Thousand Needles. I didn't actually have to go there yet, but I kind of wanted a change of scenery. And somewhere along the way, I remembered a very crucial game mechanic. There is an elite group in Barnes I do have to watch for. They're like down here. Yeah, right here. Look at them. Look how much health they have. That's insane. It's so lucky I got game knowledge, so I know there's something. I know they're there. That is one of the scariest things about WoW. There are so many random dangers, so something unexpected could very easily end my journey to level 60. And still traumatized from my first life loss from fall damage, I took the elevator into Thousand Needles very seriously, off my mount and moving as slow as possible. After that, I took the second terrifying elevator up to the horde town of Freewing Post, grabbed all the quests I could, and started clearing the easier ones first, like fighting these earth elementals or controlling this robot to steal water from the night elves. Delicious cave mold? What? Bro, who is eating that? Nice. Now level 30, I unlocked the 5th row of talents, and this one was huge because of 2 game-changing talents, Blessing of Sanctuary and Reckoning. The first one is kind of similar to Blessing of Kings, which is what I've been using for the 10% stat increase, but this new buff boosts my strength and stamina by 10%, while also reducing all damage I take by 3%, stacked with improved Righteous Fury. That brings me to a massive 9% damage reduction. In reality, it's not the craziest ability by itself, but it unlocks something later I'll need. Reckoning though is on another level. It gives me up to a 10% chance whenever I block or get hit to trigger an effect that lets me double auto attack for 8 seconds. But I didn't have it unlocked yet, so I did some mindless grinding to hit level 31 and then made my way to the most dangerous area in Thousand Needles, the Shimmering Flats. A huge barren white desert filled with early to mid level 30 mobs. The good news is that it also has a ton of quests stacked right on top of each other, which meant I could complete a bunch of them at the same time. Like, fear is, oh my gosh. So I'm doing horrendous damage. Just killing these mobs itself will get me to 32, and I guess the quest will get me to 33. 14 seconds sleep? Okay, so I thought it gets broken. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. 32. Let's go. I don't even know how long I grinded for. It felt like forever, killing birds, basilisks, and turtles until I had finished all the quests there. But instead of handing them in right away, I saved them for later and went back to the lower level parts of Thousand Needles to hand in those quests first. That eventually brought me to one of the most interesting quest lines in the zone, the Grim Totem, an evil faction of cows that I had to kill on these insanely high cliffs, which made me nervous. This is gonna hurt. Yeah. Even this lower level, look how much damage spellcasters do. Oh my gosh, why do you... I knew to hug the wall. Like, look at that. That is such a troll ability. Are you serious? This game is cooked. You see that? Why are you doing Thundershock? What is that? No, Thunderstorm. Like, on here? Are you crazy? I just gotta time it. Oh my god. Run, 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 run. Oh. Holy goodness. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not going up there. I'm not going up there. 4 of them came after me. Like, what? How is someone supposed to fight that? That was so risky. Imagine that crit me. How much damage did I take? I got hit with Earth Shock for 206 damage. It's 103, but it's actually double. If that crit, that would have done 400 damage. That was razor close. And what's crazy is how low level they were to be doing that much damage. But magical bypasses all armor, which makes it one of the scariest things to deal with in this challenge. So instead of that, I went back to the Shimmering Flats, handed in all the quests I had saved up, and jumped all the way to level 33 and then 34. Which means I'm now over halfway to level 60 in this 2x challenge, with only 1 life left. So far, there's been a lot of close calls and risky situations I've had to survive. And now heading into the WoW's mid-game, where enemies hit harder, the zones get harsher, and mobs start using way more dangerous abilities. For the first time in this run, so am I. At level 34, I left the early game behind and headed to Desolace, a rocky wasteland zone I barely remember. And with this challenge, that is probably a very bad sign. As I entered Desolace, I made my way to my first quest from Smeed Scrabblescrew, a goblin with an incredible name and a surprisingly boring job for me, rounding up Kodo so he could enslave them. But after accidentally hitting one, I was reminded of a major problem with this challenge. I do absolutely no damage. That's one of the biggest trade-offs of playing Protection Paladin. I basically had to spec for survivability just to stay alive in a run where everything deals double damage. And while that has kept me alive, it has also meant suffering through unbelievably mind-numbing auto attack gameplay since level 1. Thankfully, I do have a plan for that. I just wouldn't unlock it until level 40. So for now, early Desolace was mostly a grind. Eventually, I hit level 35, which let me max out Reckoning for a 10% chance to gain an extra auto attack. It still wasn't flashy, but it was one of the first times in this run that my damage felt even slightly better. As soon as I get Reckoning, it's over. It's just snowballs. I got it 2 times in a row, yeah. Like, it's usable with like I wonder how powerful it is with a 2-hander. I feel like it's like busted with a 2-hander. After that slight boost in confidence, I decided to take on one of the scariest places in the zone, Thunder Axe Fortress, which was filled with the worst possible enemy for this challenge, casters, packed tightly together. That is basically my kryptonite. As a Protection Paladin, I can stack a lot of armor, but magical damage ignores it all. So even enemies way below my level can still tear through my health bar. Luckily, these guys aren't too high. But look how much damage that does. Considering I had to push into a fortress full of them, I changed my mind and decided I needed to prepare first. Hitting level 36 gave me a new row of talents. I could either take Sacred Duty for more stamina and shorter defensive cooldowns, or one-handed weapon specialization for up to 10% more weapon damage. I instantly went with the damage, because with a good weapon, that talent is massive. So I headed back to Orgrimmar to craft one, along with a few much needed gear upgrades. But before that, I picked up Divine Shield, my strongest defensive ability by far. It makes me completely immune for 12 seconds, although it comes with a brutal self-inflicted damage reduction. Still, in a challenge like this, guaranteed survival is insane. After smelting all the ore I collected and grabbing a few extra materials from the auction house, I crafted a few pieces from the green iron set, which were both stylish and massive upgrades. Amazing, that's a big upgrade. That looks really good. I also made the heavy bronze mace. Even though it's a level 20 weapon, it was still a huge upgrade over what I've been using. After heading back to Desolace, I grinded my way to level 37 and decided that was finally enough to take on Thunder Axe Fortress. At first, it was pretty manageable. The enemies outside were spread out enough that I could pull them one at a time. But then, I had to climb a tower for a quest item, which gave me my first real taste of multiple enemy magical combat. Okay, let's go. So this guy got to get dealt with. Scepter of Light, perfect, got that. So this is also dangerous, like I gotta be mad careful. After that, I made my way into the actual fortress, which was packed with enemies crammed in long, narrow hallways. So I slowed everything down, pulled carefully, and started clearing the outer edges first. All of that was just preparation for the fortress center, where one bad pull could easily turn this into a disaster. And sure enough, trying to pull a single enemy accidentally brought 3 of them sprinting at me instead. Can I fight this? Yeah, I can fight this. I can fight this. Stupid dangerous. Oh, of course. I didn't even expect there to be a demon. I kind of should expect that. I honestly think the only reason I survived that was because of the Blood Elf AoE silence. I even had to pop Divine Protection, which cuts the damage I take in half. After surviving that, the rest of Desolace actually went pretty smoothly. I pushed through level 38, killed some Naga to reach level 39, and while grinding demons on my way to 40, I got an item that would completely change the run. These demons are scary, but like, I'm actually pretty tanky now. Did I just get a rare drop? Oh my god. I wish it was one-handed. What is the chance of getting that? How did I get Sword of the Magistrate? Whatever that is. I wish it was one-handed. I have an idea. I think you can swap weapons in combat. I have a really good idea for this. Yeah, you can swap. What does this give me? Oh my gosh, big upgrade. Oh, dude. Yay, I'm 40. Let's go. Level 40 was a massive breakpoint for Protection Paladin. I unlocked Holy Shield, which gave me a 30% extra block chance as long as I kept it active, and it also deals holy damage every time I block. That was huge on its own, but it also had great synergy with Reckoning, since blocking and getting hit triggers it. So for the first time in this run, my build was actually starting to feel like a real high defense, high attack tank. And with this really strong two-handed weapon, I started wondering if I could abuse Holy Shield by casting it with a shield equipped and then swapping to a two-hander afterward. So naturally, I had to test it. That increases my block to 34%. That is amazing. Oh no, it removes it, it removes it, it removes it. I know they wouldn't let that in the game, but I wish like I could like, but it literally takes it off. I feel like there may be a method. I just don't know how. I could do some weird thing where essentially I'm looking for Reckoning procs. So I could do some weird thing where if I get Reckoning, I swap to my two-hander to leverage it. I also almost forgot that level 40 unlocked plate armor, which makes me even tankier. I was so focused on Holy Shield, I completely overlooked it. And since I'm playing the Wrath variant of the game, level 40 also meant I could finally get my 100% speed mount. Unfortunately, even as a paladin, I still had to pay for the riding training, and at this point, I'm way too broke to afford it. So instead, I set up my weapon swapping macros and started looking towards the next zone. At level 40, I had suddenly a lot of options. Stranglethorn Vale, Dustwallow Marsh, Badlands, Swamp of Sorrows, Fairlass, Hinterlands, and Tyrannus. Out of all of them, Dustwallow felt the most interesting, so that was where I headed next. I just realized the helmet I have on is blocking my eyeballs, so how do I even see? See, I can switch my weapons pretty easy. I got macro set up. Switch, 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 nice and easy. Again, I don't know if this is gonna work. I assume Reckoning can work with this sword. I do gotta train the sword up a bit though. Upon entering this new zone, I made my way to Brackenwall Village, a weird friendly ogre town that probably has some really cool lore behind it. Another Blood Elf, my fellow Blood Elf. There's a bunch of quests here. The first thing I had to do was level up my sword skill because it was so horrendously low that I couldn't even test my new 1000 IQ fighting strategy. And while doing that, I somehow ran into some fellow elf people with blue eyes, which of course meant I had to slaughter them. Why are they like neutral to me though? Is it because I'm a blood elf? Like I assume like these guys are high elves, they're lions. But why are they like neutral to me though? Oh my gosh, that's so much damage. Reckoning is insane with this sword. So now I knew the strat was actually working. One of the first quests I did in the zone involved me talking to Pavel Reef, a deserter from the massive human force in the area known as the Thermore people, who then immediately pulled up on us for a fight. Oh, okay, this is scary. I'm going shield. I literally am fighting 4 different enemies right now. Why is the ogre guy not helping me? Honestly, I'm doing pretty well. So his own people just sniped him. Bro's just chilling in the... Damn, his tent was cooked. Surprisingly, I survived that pretty easily and ended up cruising through the zone, grinding quests and XP while genuinely loving my new playstyle. Damn, like I'm fighting, like, it's like I'm fighting my, like, look at me, like I'm fighting my own brethren, bro. Why is he so bright though? Like, that's so weird. Man, it's super bright. I never knew there were high elves in Dustwallow. That's so strange. It's also really cool. At level 41, I got even stronger, thanks to a talent called Ardent Defender. It reduces the damage I take at low health, but more importantly, it can save me from a lethal hit by keeping me at low health instead of killing me outright. With that power spike, I started flying through the zone, fighting a gargoyle, creepy slime creatures, and everything else in my way, all the way to level 43, where I ran into an enemy that brought me back to reality. Fire Nova, is that gonna hurt? Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Okay, these guys are another level. Look how much that hurt. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't get hit with those. That's big damage. Because no matter how strong I get, magical casters are always on a different level. So when I started fighting those dragonkin, I took every pull seriously, especially the casters. Look at this guy. This guy has so much armor. Holy goodness. I love this model right here. That looks sick. I don't even remember what the old model looked like. It's so weird because I'm like playing in like a custom world. It's so weird because some textures are upgraded, some are not. It feels like WoW, but it kind of feels like a different game too. It's weird. It's so weird. By level 45, I unlocked a Redoubt, a buff of a 10% chance to proc when I get hit. It boosts how much physical damage I can block and also increases my block chance. Oh, a shield. I didn't even realize I'm gonna get a shield. Combined with the new shield I picked up from a quest, it was a massive setup for the road to level 60. Now level 45, I decide to head to Tyrannus, a deadly desert filled with high-level enemies packed tightly together, where one bad pull could end the run for good. New area, Tyrannus is from 40 to 50, so I'm gonna stay here till I'm 51, and then I'm gonna head to another cool area. Look at this play, look at this AI player. Oh my gosh. Damn. Once I reach Gadgetzan, I grab every quest I possibly can, and start with the ones that have me kill some Wasteland Wander humans. Surprisingly, these guys are way stronger than I expected, especially for being a few levels lower than me, mostly because of a really annoying disarm ability. Oh, I hate the disarms. I can improve my unarmed. I never even knew there's an unarmed skill. Oh yeah, with the two-hander, it's such a big difference. Wait, when did I get a trinket? When did I get this? This was a drop. I didn't even realize, oh, this is a drop. This is like, this can come clutch. What the heck? There's also a wanted quest to kill a guy named Caliph Scorpionsting, who I randomly run into and immediately get a wake-up call from. That was easy. Oh, I just realized he has guys on him with him. I literally can't do that quest. Yo, look how he's walking hidden, then after I saw he has guys with him. That is insane. I might have died right there. That's nuts. So instead of taking that risk, I move on to a supposedly easier quest that just has me testing some water in a random pool near some trolls. Imagine some moths pop up. I knew it. I knew something was gonna pop up. Like, it's so like, oh my god, that's bad. I'm running. Oh my god, I barely survived. Holy shit. If they got any more range. See, I'm making mistakes. Like, I can't be making mistakes like that. Like, I should have just bubbled run. Because I won't get dazed. 2 high-level bugs spawning on me from a completely normal quest is insane, and if they chase me even a little further, the video was probably over. I'm actually way more fragile than I thought. So I started prepping a secret strategy that only a paladin can really abuse to guarantee survival, and I have a feeling I'm gonna need it soon. I reached level 46 after killing a red basilisk and make my way to Lost Rigger Cove, a pirate hideout on the coast filled with South Sea pirates. On their own, they aren't too dangerous, but because they're humanoids, they have a really annoying mechanic. When they get low, they run to nearby allies for help, which can make an easy fight spiral out of control instantly. But as long as I took my time and made sure they're isolated, I cruised through the pirates pretty easily, until I got deeper into the hideout. There, I can attempt to kill Andre Firebeard for a wanted quest. By himself, he isn't the problem. The problem is that for some reason, he has a bunch of lackeys packed around him, which makes the fight almost impossible for me. So instead, I head into a building to recover some stolen shipments, with absolutely no idea how many enemies are waiting inside. I think I can fight this. Like, I think I can fight this. 3 sounds crazy, but I think I can fight this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, physical guys are not bad. Took all my mana though. I did it without cooldowns too, so I could have used it offensive if need be. What is this? Why is there soup on like a massive chest? I don't know what's going on here. There's another floor? Bro, I might have to back out, potentially. Who's up here? No one? How? I find that impossible. Why is there 50 of these? There's no one here. Okay, that was surprising. To finish off Lost Rigger Cove, I kill a bunch more pirates, hit level 47, and head back to turn in everything. Juicy XP. Okay, we're getting our first piece of gear right here. Wow, increased defense rating too. This is a really good upgrade. Bring this to Seawolf and I get plate boots. That's a big upgrade. For these plate boots, 3x the armor. I didn't realize plate increases my armor that much. Like, I'm easily going Booty Bay for that. Before leaving for Booty Bay, I do a few more Waste Wander quests, reach level 48, and finally take on the wanted target now that I'm a lot stronger. Okay, I'm actually scared, but I can do this. Okay, this is not bad at all. This guy was way weaker than I thought. That was actually like dumb easy. I didn't even pop cooldowns. Like, what? After that, I start a puzzle quest called Kugaro's Gold, which I unlocked by opening pirate footlockers and combining the map fragments inside. And despite playing World of Warcraft for way too many years, this is somehow a quest I've never done before. It sends me all the way to the edge of Tyrannus, to a coastline filled with high-level blue turtles that I have to clear out first. Then I find a very suspicious looking shiny flagpole, click it, and run the second the cast goes off. Okay, run, there's like 5 of them. Okay, that was so dangerous. 5 different enemies. I swear World of Warcraft is actively trying to end this run. What's even crazier is that I think I can actually take them on. But first, I wait for Divine Shield to come off cooldown, because with that spell, I can use a strategy I mentioned earlier, Bubble Hearth. By casting Divine Shield and then my Hearthstone in sequence, I can guarantee an escape from almost any situation if I time it perfectly. I'm a sicko for doing this quest. 5 on me. Yeah. Disarm is crazy. I can't believe I can fight these guys. I like really underestimate my strength. That is insane. Oh my gosh, it literally despawned. Awkwardly, the chest I need to loot despawns, so I have to do the whole thing again. And after all that, the loot is pretty trash. I got some leather pants, which are technically an upgrade, but they also expose my hairless blood elf legs. The real prize would have been the South Sea lamp, which would have been a massive weapon upgrade, but that thing is insanely rare. I hit level 49 by grinding ogres and doing some pretty uneventful quests, like digging through the sand for items and fighting plant monsters. Oh my gosh. I just gotta look at this chest piece I got. Holy goodness. That is such a big upgrade. That's like double armor. Oh, yo. W, level 50. Perfect. What can I get now? Ooh, I unlocked a new town tree. Okay, so this is actually gonna be a very difficult choice because I can get Touch of the Light, which increases spell power by an equal amount to 20% of my strength, increases the amount healed by my critical heals. Based on how I'm reading this, improves my holy damage. Then there's Avenger Shield, of course, which is like another attack for me. I'm looking at it. I'm probably gonna take Avenger Shield. What the hell? 567 damage? Like, bro. There's also a talent here called Guarded by the Light, with the main benefit of reducing the spell damage I take, and realistically, I probably should take it, but because I'm greedy, I decide to go for Avenger's Shield instead, for the massive damage increase. And at level 50, I first head to Booty Bay to turn in on quests for some nice plate boots upgrade, and I go all the way to Silvermoon to finally get my fast mount, spending almost all my gold on max riding speed. So the most important thing I want is a charger. Only 30 cents, that's ridiculous. Okay, so this one looks pretty good. Like, I actually like this one. I also learned a bunch of new paladin spells. Hammer of Wrath, which is basically a busted execute ability. Cleanse, an upgraded version of Purify that can remove magical effects, which is amazing. And a few powerful anti-undead and anti-demon tools like Turn Evil, which can fear them and save me in horrible situations. And Holy Wrath, which does huge damage and AoE stuns undead and demons. These are gonna be really important because my next zone is Western Plaguelands, one of the deadliest areas in the game, swarming with undead, but as a paladin, I should theoretically be the perfect counter. Oh yeah, this mount's a big difference. Okay, so this is a pretty cool fast mount. My mount literally looks better than my gear. Like, the gear my mount has looks nuts. I literally have no pants on, like, bro. Once I reach Western Plaguelands, there's barely any quests I can actually do. Technically, I'm the right level for the zone, but in reality, I'm pretty under-leveled. So the first thing I do is grind undead to test my new abilities, and they turn out to be insanely strong. I hit level 51 pretty easily, and that's when I start getting overconfident. My new abilities cost a lot of mana, and eventually, I end up fighting 2 enemies with almost none left. One of them is a caster doing absurd amounts of damage, so I try to run far enough away to reset them, but that's not going very well because I keep getting hit by slowing frostbolts that drag my health lower and lower. It gets to the point where a single crit would end the entire challenge. So for the first time in the series, I use Bubble Hearth, and it actually works. Unfortunately, it sends me all the way back to Tyrannus. That was close. I had to Bubble Hearth. That was way too close. At least I know Bubble Hearth works. That was so close. Holy shit. And after making the long trip back, I find one quest I can actually do: killing undead for Scourge Stones. I turn that in, get close to level 51, and then run into a new problem. I have no idea what to do next. Western Plaguelands has way fewer safe quests than I expected, and almost everything left feels way too risky. So I decide to leave for a better zone. But first, I go grab the flight path in the area so I can come back later. What is this? Oh, oh my god. I didn't even know what that was. Holy goodness. Wait, how did I die? There's no way the series ends like this. There's no way. I literally bubbled Hearthstone, so how did I take damage? The series is over though. I didn't even expect that to happen. I didn't know what that thing was. I shouldn't have clicked it. That was so dumb. I was completely confused at first because I died in my Hearthstone location, nowhere near the enemies I had just been fighting. But once I slowed down the footage, it revealed something absolutely insane. Earlier, I clicked an item called the Blood of Heroes, which I definitely should have not touched. That one spawns 1 or 2 high-level elites called Fallen Heroes. They have 2 physical damage abilities. One stuns and the other cuts healing received by 50%. I get hit once, panic, divine shield for immunity, and Hearthstone away. The Hearthstone goes off, I teleport, and for a split second, I'm alive in my new location. But somehow, the elites come with me. You can actually see their health bars in the footage. And before I can even process what's happening, they land 2 attacks that take me from 85% health to 0. And even worse, my health bar says I'm immune. And somehow, Ardent Defender doesn't trigger either, even though it absolutely should have saved me from lethal damage. So I genuinely have no idea what's happening. But just like that, the 2x challenge is over. Here were my thoughts in the moment. I think the Paladin is like, that was my fault, but I think the Paladin's possible. I think the Paladin's easily possible. Yeah, look, can't res, nothing, it's over. Series is over. 2x man died at level 51. That is so sad. I wish I got to 60. At least I got close though. At least I didn't die at like 20. At least I got close. I'm happy with that. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see 3x damage next. It would be way harder, but I do think it's humanly possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.